What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, May 25th, 2024, and we are here for a 6 o'clock p.m. on a Saturday. Would have been a Friday, but I was unavailable yesterday stream. As y'all know, I told y'all I was out of town these last couple of days because my cousin was, excuse me, graduating from high school. That's why y'all got the Yasuke Assassin's Creed stream on Tuesday at the time that you did. Otherwise, that was going to be the Friday stream yesterday. But I said I wanted to go ahead and knock that one out. But I said this is going to be the next stream up. And the thing is, this one fits perfectly because of the premiere video that I did today. But before we go ahead and get into everything, shout out to everybody who is in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody on the Patreon. And speaking of the Patreon subscribers have been going up quite a bit. I think this is probably the most engagement I've had on Patreon since I've made it. Like this month in particular, y'all are really running the numbers up on Patreon, and I'm very appreciative of that. I'm very excited about that. I'm glad that y'all are over there because, again, those are stories that I cannot put on YouTube. They are very, very extreme and extremely disturbing and brutal stories. As a matter of fact, there's two more stories I actually have to record probably between today and tomorrow, but I still have a whole bunch lined up for y'all coming down the pipeline as it pertains to Patreon. Shout out to all of the members, everybody on Instagram, X. They finally put it where you have to type x.com to go to X instead of just continuing to type Twitter in to the search. But even then, X will still come up if you just put Twitter in. And on Discord and everyone who sends me stories. Now, before we get into everything, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far. We have Fireback, Chris Vesey, FBA Freeman, Wallow J, Patricia Slade, Terrence Jackson, Blueberry Muffin, Cosma Fury, Denise. Listen, Cosma, Blueberry, and Denise, y'all was cutting up over there on Kid Gravity stream earlier. Miriam, Ty C, Reparations Nations, Casey Malone, Andre Edwards, Kels 517, Darlene, Brooklyn Queen, Queen Imani, SD Johnson, Quincy X, Soul Flow, Don P, Ben Yehuda. Missions, Visions, Kid Gravity. Speaking of the Jaded Libra guy, Blueberry Muffin. I think I already said you, David Brown, Hack Sign KT. Shout out to everybody that is in here so far. I'm glad that you are all here. And shout out to everybody else that will be coming in as time continues to roll forward. Okay, so with this particular stream, I had to go back to last month. This is actually something I bookmarked last month, and it was right around the time of the NFL draft. And of course, you know, with the video that I did today was about those comments that Nick Adams made towards Malik Neighbors and saying he was expressing thuggish arrogance because of his chain and because of his blazer jacket. But we blew the lid off of Nick Adams and show that this guy expressed thuggish behavior. So as far as I'm concerned, this dude was just simply and merely projecting. But we're going to talk about another individual today who was at the NFL draft, and his name is Xavier Legette, who was actually drafted to the Carolina Panthers. And this is more of when he was asked a particular question and how he responded to it. Not so much how he responded to it, but just his dialect. Now, we all know that depending on where you live at, there's always going to be people around the nation that live in various places, and their accents are going to be very, very, very different. Now, for me, I already know what my accent sounds like, especially growing up here. But of course, some people will tell you, oh, you have an accent, but they'll never say that they hear it because you're used to it. You're always used to hearing it. So if you grew up in the South and you have a Southern accent, you have a Southern accent. If you grew up like in the tri-state area, you're going to have that New Jersey / New York accent. Even like, you know, Philly's accent is different from people further up north. People in Baltimore accent is different than people in PG. I'm telling y'all right now. And so on and so forth. And if you've been all over, you can pretty much pinpoint where the accent is. And sometimes if you're really good, you can pinpoint what state it's from. So Xavier was just answering a question, but it was more so the response of what people had to say about it. And it came from a very anti-black standpoint. So I'm going to play the clip. It's only 41 seconds. And I'm telling you right now, I was able to understand what he said. And I think it's because I went to school in the South. Like I went to college in the South, so I but I went to school around a lot of people from the South. Now, if that wasn't the case, I probably wouldn't understand what he was saying, but I wouldn't come at it from the standpoint of how the usual suspects did.
All right, we will begin with questions for Xavier.
Xavier, you woke up a Carolina Panther. Did you have to pinch yourself?
Say that one more time.
So you woke up a Carolina Panther this morning. Did you have to pinch yourself a little bit?
Oh no, man. I woke up ready, man. I got a call right after I got dressed. They was coming to pick me up at 9:30 in the morning. I told them I'm gonna be ready.
What was that feeling like when you got the call? Because I saw the emotion in your face in the video, but what were those emotions?
Overly excited, man, whole time, and I really trying to hold my tears in for real, man. I told my folks I wasn't gonna crack. I was trying to be tough guy, but man, I was really over excited.
Okay, so you can tell right there, this is a deep South accent. You have your Southern accents and you have your deep South. This is your deep South. This is like your deep fried Southern South accent right there, where sometimes it sounds like the words are kind of jumbled up together. But the reason why that is because he's expressing excitement. He's very excited. They asked him, like they said, we heard that you woke up and found out that you were a Carolina Panther. So he probably wasn't awake clearly when he found out he got drafted, but he's excited. Like he's talking. You can tell he's excited because he's showing all 32 teeth as he's talking. But I understood what he was saying. Even if I couldn't really understand everything, I understood most of what he was saying. He was very excited. And who wouldn't be excited about getting drafted? I mean, you worked hard. You dedicated it. You dedicated most of your life to doing this, and the payoff is here. But there were some people that instead of saying, I didn't simply understand what he was saying, but I'm glad and I'm excited for him, they took it a whole nother route, which leads me to this page right here. This BIPOC doing racism. Now, this is another one of those anti-black pages that I be telling y'all about that be floating around all over X. Like literally, I told y'all X has literally become an anti-black think tank. For those of y'all who are on the platform, you are well aware. If y'all are not, well, y'all have seen and given me, I've given y'all several examples as to why it is. But you have this BIPOC doing racism who posted this up right here and said, they really want us to believe these athletes meet the academic requirements to attend college and go to class for 3 to 4 years. So what this person is basically saying, and it's pretty obvious, that because of how Xavier talks, he's not educated. It's no way that he could have gotten good grades. They probably just passed him along just so he could play football, or he's another dumb jock, or he's a CTE case waiting to happen, or he's probably going to be someone who's going to be broke in a few years. He's not going to know how to manage his money. I'm just laying all out what they don't want to say, but what they're actually saying. So basically what they're saying is we have to know how to speak the King's English. And if we do, then we're very intelligent. That's why I keep telling y'all, be wary of when they come out of their mouths and say, you as a black person are very articulate. That is an insult. That is an insult. But you know, some will take that as a pat on the head and keep it moving. But they chalked it up as to him being unintelligent because of how he spoke. Even though he's speaking English, he's not speaking a foreign language. He is speaking English. What's funny is that you have people who want to say, like this BIPOC doing, whoever's running this account will sit up here and say how much they would probably like to go travel or have traveled to other countries where they are speaking another language. I bet you they wouldn't post up there saying that they're uneducated. Again, these are some of the same people that will say, oh, you're over here in America, you need to speak English. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about after we go through some of these replies. But before we actually go through their replies, let's go to where the source, where it actually started at, with this Emilio 2763, because that's where the BIPOC doing racism got the video from. So we have someone here says, what? Another person says, see ball, get ball. Again, they're chalking up his accent and his dialect to him being dumb. That has nothing to do with it. There are people that can speak very good English and are dumb as a bag of rocks. Y'all don't know what this man's GPA is or his level of intelligence is, but they'll be quick to throw out that, oh, he must got a low IQ. Someone else says, what did he say? This other person says the National Felon League. Look at that. The National Felon League is never disappointing. Someone said, Scholar, that was just a backhanded response. That they didn't actually mean. They didn't actually mean what they said. We have someone says, I understood him just fine. He's excited. It's the coolest thing ever so far for him. That's exactly what we kept saying. He's just excited. That's all it is. Someone else said, these are the only people that can decipher what Joe Biden says. Someone says he's a real country boy. Clearly. Someone says just another fine product of our awesome education system. Hey, well, at least he went into school and got educated. Meanwhile, there's people out there that's going out there to be violent against education and the schools. Look at Ethan Crumbly. Let's talk about it. Someone else says field Negro doesn't need smarts. Someone else said too many tackles. Someone else was all I heard was, and then they put a meme of some people work. It looks like a clip from that movie 12 Years a Slave, like they're in a cotton field. So they're trying to say he sounds like a slave. Someone else said translation, please. And so on and so forth. Now let's go back to the original post. Somebody said he's just from the South. That's really all it is. He's from the South. Then they try to come back and be funny with the person because they said he just, so now they're trying to clown the person that corrected them. That's why I tell people I don't spend time correcting them. For what? They've already made up in their minds how they feel. They said, another person said, a lot of white folks in the South speak like this or worse. How dare you attempt to use that bigotry against someone black because they have a Southern drawl? Someone said that's the Southern accent shared by blacks and whites. Leave your keyboard and touch grass, loser. Someone else says, I don't care about athletics and education levels. I'm fine with letting them learn nothing. Their skill is athletics. The ones that want to learn should, and the ones that don't, I hope you make enough money that it doesn't matter. Another person wrote, sounds like a Southern country boy. Nothing wrong with that. Another person said, you've obviously never been to the deep South. They said, this is how people sound where he's from, white, black, and everything in between. Exactly. And that's the thing. When I went to school in South Carolina, no matter if you was from there, no matter what your race was, you had that Southern accent. There was no way you were getting around that accent. Someone else says, what an L by you. People talk different. What a revelation. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, most of the people that's replying to this are not of his crowd, because if they were, they would have been leaving some of the same type of comments like the ones I just read on the other page that originally posted this video. So they getting tore up in their own comment section. They thought they had a win. They thought they had a W. They're holding this big L though. Someone says, I agree with your sentiment and point, but the example, unfortunately, is just a deep South accent. Yeah, apparently, like I said, this person must have never been to the South before. If this is your first time hearing that, and that was your takeaway. Oh, look, here's one of his friends. Most don't have the scholastic ability to pass the 6th grade. Yet this guy is getting ready to play in the NFL, signed, I'm sure, a multi-million-dollar contract. And here you are with a bought and paid for blue check on a platform. And who knows what your life is like. This person says next thing he will build airplanes that fall out of the sky. And if he gets a government position, he will fit it. They didn't even say fit it with people that look like him versus skills and qualifications in the detriment of national security, aka they're talking about DEI. Shout out to the 220 that's in here again. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Someone else says, shout out to Crew Reality. He says, I can understand him clear as a bell. But like I said, like most of the people that's left comments under there, they were clowning them. Now let's look under the post engagements. This is just how Southerners speak. Hey, look who it is, a familiar face. Kid Gravity said radar. I know what that means. Someone else says, tell me you're a racist who's never been to our spoken to some, I guess they meant to say spoken to someone from the South without telling me you're a racist. Someone that says, y'all should know the game by now. Student athlete is name only. They says, what about him is telling you he doesn't meet the academic requirement? Again, they keep going with the narrative. Oh, his accent must, because he sounds like that, he must be dumb. But see, what it is, let me tell y'all something. WS looks at us and keeps their lens focused on us so much that they literally will take whatever they see, maybe in pop culture, a television show or a movie, and then apply fantasy to reality blanketly to us as a collective and swear we're all like that. But again, these are the same people that praise 45 for having not one but 2 felons on stage with him in the Bronx. I'm going to leave a pin in that one because that's going to be a whole stream in and of itself. Shout out to Blacklight Revelations for actually doing a stream on that earlier today. Now, if you want to talk about something that's shameful, let's talk about that. Someone said Xavier Legette went to South Carolina for 4 years straight. He's also born there. Research somebody or find out who somebody is just before you assume. Another person says they don't really want you to believe anything. They don't know who you are. They don't care about your life. You are remedial. Look at this one. Lice lieutenants. Good one. They call them lice lieutenants. Really thinks because a black person has an accent, that means we're dumb. Our ancestors not from England. B. Someone says, I didn't know your accent is a determining factor into your literacy rate. We should ask your uncles and aunts that live in the toenails of the Appalachia if they can read or write, not the toenails. Someone says, meet the academic requirements. He's playing while in college. You're getting played in college. Enjoy being in debt and having so much intellect. You could go to the moon if you really weren't I'm not going to say that word, but that it rhymes with punt, but uses the word, it's the C right there in front of it. Someone said, I'm racist too, but this is exactly how white Southerners talk as well. Your whole gimmick is racism, yet you suck at racism. Find a better job, you annoying. They call them the same word. It says he has a strong Southern accent, pretty normal in the South. So as you can see, this post right here did not pan out the way that BIPOC doing racism thought it would. I like that, Blueberry. I like that. See you next Tuesday. I like that. Oh, Christiane says, it's a fellow Legette. We are far from stupid. Hold up. Are you related to him or y'all just share the same name? Because that name Legette, that's not a typical last name. So I'm just asking, are you related or that's just y'all just share that name? But the reason why I was going through this also is because there was another story separate from this that happened a couple years ago that I talked about on my channel. And I'm gonna pull the picture up and I'm gonna display the act and I'm gonna run down the story itself. And then after I do that, then I'll drop the link. Like I said, it's not a lot going on with the story, but I just wanted to make a live about it. So some of y'all probably are looking at this picture and have no clue what you're looking at, except that there's 3 images here. One of them is a woman who has a bandage going across her nose. Her lip is busted, and you see a white woman on the bottom with tears in her eyes. And the woman right there with the hijab on is the same woman who's in the first picture. So for those of y'all who are unaware, back in 2015, there was an incident at a restaurant where you had this woman right here. I forget her name, but I believe she's Somalian or I think she's Somali, if I'm not mistaken. She was at a restaurant and she was with her family. And she was with her family, you know, talking, but she was talking in her language to her family. And that's just how they communicate. You know what happens? Like you go to a restaurant, you have people there and they're going to talk to their language if they're there with their family. No harm, no foul. But apparently, this woman right here was so offended by this woman's conversation. First of all, why are you even in her conversation? Why are you even in her business? Like whatever her family is talking about amongst them is amongst them. You mind your business and pay and do whatever it is at your table with whoever it is that you are with, and just go on about your business and eat your food. But no, she couldn't do that. She was so pissed at that this woman was talking in her language with her family that she got up from the table, had this beer, like this giant mug. Y'all know those big giant glass beer mugs? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You've seen them before. Some of you might have drank out of them. She took that mug and threw it at this woman's face. And that's why her lip got busted. And you know why she did it? Because she did not like the fact that she was not speaking in English. True story. Go look this story up if you don't believe me. That is the story. This happened back in almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago. She was so mad that this woman was not speaking English that she got up from her table, took a beer mug and threw it at her and busted her lip. And then she gonna have the nerve to cry in her mugshot. If I was her family, oh, we would have formed up like Voltron and she wouldn't have made it out of there. We would have beat her so bad she would have became a part of the menu. I remember hearing this and I was so mad. I was so pissed about this story. I was so mad for a multitude of reasons. Like I said, one, because she didn't mind her business. And two, that she actually did it. Like she actually got up from the table and hit her with that mug. But like I said, that goes back again to what I've been saying about how many of them be like, speak English, you're in America now, and all this, that, and the third. But she actually felt some type of way about it. Did she think she was plotting on her? Maybe that's what she thought. Maybe she thought she was plotting on her. I don't know. But that goes into another narrative why a lot of them be getting upset when they see us congregate. I'm going to tell y'all another little story. And I'm going to drop the link. Now, this story doesn't even have to do with me. It actually has to do with my dad. It was a story he was telling me a couple years ago when he was working. This was way before he retired. He was, still working, and it was years before that. And he said that he was on break from work, and it was he and like maybe 2 or 3 of his other coworkers. Now, all the other coworkers were black. It was 4 black men talking on their break. All of a sudden, this white guy just came out of nowhere. I guess he worked in their office. I can't remember or not, but maybe he did. and just came and inserted himself into the conversations like, hi guys, how are you doing? And everything like that. My dad said they just kind of looked at each other. You know how black people got that that black telepathy thing where we just kind of look at each other and we just kind of have a mental conversations. They said that conversation just dissipated and they all just walked away from that white guy, just leaving him stuck on the side of the road or the side of wherever they were standing at. They was like, okay, conversation done. It was basically one of the things, if we wanted you in the conversation, we would have invited you to the conversation. Don't just jump into it and you have no clue what we're talking about. And I'm sure many of you in the chat right now have experienced exactly that. Exactly, Marion, the right 3 or more gathering laws. What did I tell y'all in the grift? Even talked about that in some of my We Fought Back series. They created laws where they said it was illegal for like 2 or more black people or more than 2 black people to congregate. They made that a law. What did I tell you? They are their ancestors. Blueberry says 1 is enough, 2 is too many, 3 is a gang. And this was 4. So imagine what that is. 4 is a plot to destroy the Jedi. That's what 4 is. 4 is a plot to destroy the Jedi. But anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and drop the link and let y'all come on up and say what y'all got to say about this topic. The link is right there in the chat. Feel free to come on up. We have 283 people right now. I appreciate each and every one of you that are here. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. I'll probably keep the lines open maybe until about 7 o'clock. Oh, damn, y'all coming in fast. All right, first person we got is Blueberry. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon, good evening.
How are you?
Thanks for letting me up on the stage, Tarian. I'll keep it brief. You know something? White folks think black folks are dumb anyway, and even if you have an accent, you can be from the Pacific Northwest, you can be all the way down dirty South. You can have a degree from the University of South Carolina or a degree from Stanford University, and they're still going to say that you're dumb and you can't do anything. But we've got to remember, accents are regional, local. He's from South Carolina. Okay. And I've been to South Carolina. That's how everybody, black, white, Asian, even that Asian governor, Nikki Haley, talks like that. But did they say anything about her? No. So why are they going to make a big deal out of a football player who has his 4-year degree, by the way? Okay. And then they're pocket watching him because he's in the NFL and he's playing for the Carolina Panthers. So white supremacists are going to be white supremacists no matter what. And like that other person clowned them, saying, what about your folks over there living in the toenail of Appalachia? Can they read them right? I guess not. That's all I got to say. B1.
B1. Shout out to Blueberry for coming up. Next up, we got Wallow J.
What's up, Torian? It's your favorite country boy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I mean, everybody from the South has an accent. As everybody can tell, I have an accent. I'm from North Carolina. I'm from the country. I'm going to have an accent, okay? Like, everybody talks different in America, man. Like, you ain't know about this, living in that glass house, that glass ceiling of mine. And then you come after my newest Carolina Panther? Oh, no, we can't have that, buddy. Don't make me come up there and beat his ass now, Torian, now. I'm serious. Like, I mean, we've been through a lot already since our boy Cam left us. But when we first heard about him, we heard that voice. We was like, "Oh yeah, he gonna put in that work for real." So if anybody else come for this man again, best believe us Panther fans gonna come after him. Torian, B1, I'm out.
B1. And speaking of country, that just reminds me too of when I did that live stream about Megyn Kelly being upset with Beyonce in that album. And I'm like, Megyn Kelly, you from New York. You are not even from the country. You shouldn't even have a say so in this conversation. Same with what's his name? John Schneider. Not John. Is it John Schneider? Yeah, John Schneider from Dukes of Hazzard. Isn't he from New York? And he had something to say about a woman who's from Houston, which is in Texas, which I know is in the country. We've heard that woman talk. She has a Southern accent. All right, next up we got Xavier. What's going on? Xavier, you there? Can you hear me? All right, I don't know what's going on with his audio. It sounded like he was driving, but it didn't sound like he could hear me. All right, next up, Miss Niecy, what's going on?
Now you know I'm country.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know how to talk proper, but the country gonna come through and through.
Mm.
And I understood perfectly what that young man said.
Yeah,
The first time.
I did too, and I'm not even country, and I understood what he said.
Exactly. It's a FBA thing. We know.
Mm-hmm.
We know. But anywho, we had fun on KG's Live.
Yeah, I saw y'all was cutting up over there.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna drop off because I know others want to come up. But 60, country, and loving it. B1.
Nice. B1. Shout out to Miss Niecy. Next, we got Goddess. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Brother Tori and B1 to you first and foremost? Oh yeah, they always play that little thing where they say, well, if you speak in a certain dialect, then you're uneducated. And clearly this young man, as Sister Blueberry pointed out, has a 4-year degree. And congratulations that he is Panther's newest light. I can't wait to see him in action, as well as when we hear our sisters or brothers who speak from the South, we already know we love that twang. We call it our country twang. It's nothing wrong with our dialects, whether you're from the North, South, East, or West. We're going to reflect in our speech whatever that local culture is in that city or town or province. So for them just to be hating on us, it's nothing different. We pop our collars, we stand taller, and keep it going while we influence the rest of the world. And that synapses right there, they just can't stop our flavor, our style, because that's what we do. I guess they would have just died if he was from Louisiana and was speaking in Creole dialect, wouldn't they? My goodness, some Bayou dialect. They would, I guess, they would have lost their minds for sure. While they over there in Kathmandu and everywhere else, and could barely say money in English, but want to judge us. But that's PC and other ethnicities for you.
Definitely.
B1.
B1. Shout out to Goddess for coming up. Next up, we got King. Well, we'll do Spidey first. Go ahead, Spidey.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I wasn't supposed to go next. Oh, sorry.
You can go ahead. I'll bring King Kobe up after you.
All right, then. Yep. I'm gonna keep it brief as always, man. Yeah. See, what can I really say here, man? They always want to attack the way that we talk in our dialect. Now, yeah, I don't have a Southern accent, but yeah, some people might say that I have a Wisconsin accent, and yes, there is a Wisconsin accent because some of us here, well, probably more so PC, but probably some black folks here too have like that nozzle influenced sounding accent. That's what some Wisconsinites will have. Mm-hmm. But of course, both of my grandparents were born in the South, and I can tell you, my grandfather, he had a Southern accent. He had a hint of a Southern accent, and of course, I understood him very well. So so yeah, there's that. And black people, we make everything sound cool. We make everything sound hip. We're trendsetters. Enough said. We make all these dialects sound cool, whether it be Creole, New York, Philly, you name it. So enough said. B1, thank you for letting me up here.
No problem. Shout out to Spidey for coming up. Now we can bring up Key and Kobe. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you been? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. So as usual, they can't keep our ours out their mouth. They just can't help themselves, can't they?
Right.
Like, damn, dude is clearly from the deep South, and this is how they react. Come on now, it's getting
Exactly.
ridiculous.
And trying to act like they've never heard that before. But again, that was just the talking point they wanted to use to say that he was uneducated because of how he talked, because he didn't speak with the King's English and everything like that. But I always tell people all the time, we like Spidey just said, we are the trendsetters of the world. You got people who are from other places trying to sound like us
all the
but
time.
but I mean, down all the way down to the bone marrow, and it's like it comes off so forced. But
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but we know you faking the funk.
Big time. They stay just keeping our names in their mouths. They keep insulting us. They keep being disrespectful. Got all this slick shit to say. It's pretty fucking stupid at this point. Like, I'm clearly not from the South. Most people say I talk funny, whatever. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I have family from the South and everything.
I find most people who are from like Detroit or the state of Michigan or even in Chicago and Illinois, but mainly Chicago, have like a slight Southern accent, and I know why, because a lot of your family migrated from the South.
That, yeah, it's funny. You said that. I've had my folks tell me, yeah, Michigan, Illinois, stuff like that, great migration states. That's what they tell me all the time. But yeah, I don't think it at this point. I don't think we're just never gonna stop hearing bullshit from these folks, man. We're just,
of course not.
First is the first is the damn game. Now this, come on now, like,
Yes,
they're getting more and more pathetic.
It's merely a nitpick. They have to find something to go off of to try to judge, and it doesn't quite hit. Hence why when I was going through the post, most of the people in there were checking him, like, or them. I don't know who runs the page.
Right.
It didn't hit the way that they thought it would.
Oh yeah, it was a big fail. Like, they insults are getting tired too. It really is.
Because it's because it's stale. It's very stale. It's very bland, like they're cooking.
Damn. Oh hell. I don't want to know what that cooking is like.
You don't want to know. Neither do I.
Nah, I don't think I want to know. But yeah, man. Hey, thanks for giving me time and everything. I'll be looking for your next one, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Shout out to King Covey. Next up, we got Sam Ham. What's going on?
Hello, guys. I just wanted to say the fact that no FBA, like, we don't speak English. That's not our native language. But the fact that we don't speak that dialect, we have taken that dialect and made it our own, and we actually speak it better than them. For example, my father is Gullah, and they have their, and I can't understand a thing they're saying, but my father is, when they're talking, I can understand some of the words because, like, they have their own language. Like when they say jokey or they say you stupid, like, they're not saying you're stupid. Literally, they're actually saying, you funny. So we have taken the language and just like made, like you said, made it cool. And we like are trendsetters. So I don't even pay them no mind because, like you said, they're always trying to find something to nitpick with us. Like if they see us take something and do it better than them, they got to find something to make it wrong. Like, oh, now you're not educated because you don't speak a certain way. When our ancestors didn't, many of them didn't have 8th grade educations, and we still hold. I mean, they weren't educated on these standards that we have now at all, and we still hold more inventions than any other American. So I don't pay them no mind. But thanks for letting me up, Torian. I'm always nervous to speak.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
All right, next up we got Xavier. What's going on?
Hey, brother, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh yeah, sorry about the earlier part. Yeah, so I just saw this video and I'm like, what was the issue they had with his accent? Because I could understand everything he was saying.
Here's the thing, Xavier. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was no issue. They tried to find one, and that's what they put out there, and it was a fail.
Like I feel like okay, so I have trouble hearing accents, like especially really when people talk fast with the accent. But with him, I could understand it very clearly, and he sounds like a really cheerful and kind person. And one thing I'll say, right, like the previous callers were saying, I think FBA, they make all these accents way cooler than the original accents. Because before, in my mind anyway, the way I see it, like whenever I hear PC people talk with that particular kind of accent, automatically I think racism, racism, racism. But then when I hear a black person talking with that accent, I'm cool with it because it sounds more approachable and friendly. So I think at the end of the day, it's basically just jealousy. They can't be cool with it because when you hear PC talking like that, you automatically think negative. But with a black person, it's mostly positive. So they're trying to make that they're trying to change the narrative, but it's not gonna work because we all know they know the truth. So I mean, fuck them.
Right.
So I think I'll land my plane there. Yeah.
Nope.
Thanks for
appreciate
picking
you.
me up.
No problem. And before I bring the next person up, Z McKnight, I know you trolling in the chat with the comment you just made. Let me tell you something right now. For those, I know all of y'all in the chat, we've all heard Taraji P. Henson speak. Taraji P. Henson is from the DMV area. I'm telling you right now, if you've never been to this area, once you've heard her speak, you probably heard a good 99.9% of every black woman in this area because they all sound just like that. I promise you that. A good chunk of black women in this area sound just like Taraji P. Henson. That's why I said if you heard her, you've heard them all. And I'm like dead ass honest with you. Anybody from the area can vouch for me on that one, or anyone who's been here can tell you the same exact thing. All right, next up we got, I already know who this is. He said, you know what? When I first saw that, I thought, wait a minute, did they see my post? Then they found me? Hold on, let me bring them on up here so we can, straighten them out. But I know they ain't gonna do that. What's going on, BIPOC doing cuckism, aka KG?
This is probably a bad idea.
What?
This is probably a bad idea.
Why you say that?
Can you play that video?
Oh, the one that you have right here?
Yes.
Who is this?
That's him. That's BIPOC doing racism.
That's him?
That's him.
Why am I not surprised?
By the way, this is his video. This is his video, but I want you to listen to what he said.
Okay.
This is why I don't take him serious. And I've been trolling him for the last 4 days with this video.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
I think you could. Hold on. Why isn't that playing?
Yeah, because I can't play it on my end.
This might be a picture. Hold on.
Yeah.
I think it's a picture. That's why. Y'all got to see this video. Let me see it.
Okay.
Torian, you got to see this.
Okay, I'm about to say, if you can't get the video up, then just tell us what he said.
All right, we're gonna play it. Here we go. Watch this.
Okay.
It's probably a really bad idea because now people know what I look like. I run the account BIPOC doing racism. BIPOC racism. The majority of the hate content on that platform is directed at white people. And
how you tell that lie?
Right.
How you tell that lie? He came out the gate lying. Is he insane?
Well, I mean, that's par for the course.
Oh, what if I told you it gets better?
Go ahead.
I have now been locked out again. I am being targeted again. Something happened to the algorithm where they're going back to the old standards, or somebody on the moderation team locked my account. Okay, so this message is for Elon Musk, and he's not going to respond. He will not. I had sent my resume to Ella Irwin to be hired on the moderation team. I heard no response. I have tweeted Elon tons of times. I follow the accounts that he follows. They follow me back. There's absolutely no way that Elon does not either know about my account or has seen my account. He is a coward. So at this point, because I'm a Twitter Blue member, if anybody has any
he's sitting there begging Daddy Elon to put him on a content moderation team so he doesn't get community noted.
Was this recent?
This was a few months back.
Okay.
When he put this up, bro, we had a field day.
So he had to expose himself because he got locked out of his account. Wow,
bro!
Wow!
It took him. This video, I said, I'm keeping it.
It took him getting locked out of his account to reveal himself. He probably hated he had to do that.
Oh yeah, bro.
y'all, hey, listen, y'all got an unexpected triple P moment right here, unexpectedly.
This is supposed to be the height of alpha male. He's sitting there crashing out over black folks, but we're inferior. Then he tells people, "Oh, I'm just doing this just to expose the racism going on and how black people are being coddled." We're like, bro, we don't need you for that. That whole platform, your whole page, you got over 6 figures. You could be highlighting the accomplishments of white people. You don't do that. Everything is about black folks.
Exactly. What y'all saw, the tweet that I went over, that's just a tip of the iceberg of what he goes. That's not even him at his final form.
Bro,
that's low.
I know his final form.
That's low. That's low tier compared to what
I actually know his final form. I wish I could say something. I know something. I can't. There's all I'll say is
no. That's why I said don't say it.
No, the most I could say is people got involved. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. But if I ever get the permission, boy, woo! But this dude here, this is the guy. This is the guy. This is one of them. We know he flinches when a motorcycle backfires. We know this. This is a cuck. That's a cuck.
Oh, for sure.
He can't talk to us.
Right.
He got Diane Yap's teeth. He can't talk to us.
Oh. Well, I couldn't tell he was barely opening his mouth, but now that I know that, good thing he talked like his mouth was still closed, but he ain't got no lips, so
bruh, he could bite obsidian.
Wow.
This is why I tell people, don't even engage with this account. Now his new thing is he's just going to retweet people that say they don't like white people. Okay. They don't like white people. So what? White people don't like white people. Go retweet them. But you won't. I want to know the black guy that took his girl.
You know that's usually the thing that it stems from.
Did you walk in and all you heard was not like us, and your girl was like, "Oh, Kendrick."
Right. And that's why I was asking, when did this video get posted? Because I just went over, that was posted literally like about almost a month ago.
This was way before that. This was last year.
Okay.
I think so he got like the fall time.
So it clearly looks like he got the account back.
Oh yeah. I actually remember when it got banned, and then he had it back like a day later.
So he exposed himself, and all he had to do was wait. But now it's out there now.
Oh yeah. Every time he puts up a post, I say, bruh, this is you. You can't talk to us. But again, November 5th, your man is selling this app. He's already setting it up. And they don't see it. And when it goes back to the old school ways, and you can't really get money off of this, and they're gonna take everybody blue check away, you're gonna watch him cry. I swear to you.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for it. It's almost June. We are getting closer to the third quarter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it's gonna be a beautiful third quarter.
Summer is gonna be it's gonna be a lit and loud summer.
I mean, even today I was actually surprised. I had to go look. There wasn't much George Floyd post. So I was like, okay. But the usual suspect said something. And I hope you know somebody black got to get it. And we all know who that is.
Listen, the list is getting long to the point where I'm gonna have to ask who.
Drunk Auntie Mammy.
Oh God,
bro.
When is she not saying anything?
Oh, she was bro. She was egregious.
She was or she is?
She was.
Oh,
she went with the narrative. Oh yeah.
She has like literally. I could just dedicate. I could do a whole marathon of just the post that she makes.
No, it wasn't Tatum. Tatum don't use Twitter like that. Tatum know better.
He's not active on X like that. He's more relegated to his YouTube more than anything.
But they had to trend him with Lake and Riley one time.
Yeah, Cosmo just typed it in the private chat. Yes, that's who we're talking about.
Yeah, but on this little thingamajiggy bob. Now I remember I played this video, and I was like, I understood everything he said, and I was actually laughing because I actually understood what he said. And then just to watch those comments, and I was like, bruh, y'all really keep thinking the South is stupid. The South almost won the war, so they're not that stupid.
Right.
And for some reason, if the South is so stupid, why are people still moving to the South? It's the biggest area in the country.
It's a lot of transplants going to the South in various parts of the South too.
Yeah, but why would you want to move around dumb people? How much you want to bet BIPOC doing cuckism lives in the South? How much you want to bet? Makes you think. I ain't gonna dox the critter. That's not me, but I'm just saying they always project their insecurities. But I mean, you know, Diane Yap teeth aside, I mean, this dude, we just gotta endure him for another 5 months, and then he'll be gone. Because, like I said, when Elon sells that app, everybody gonna lose their blue check, and the only way you gonna get it is they gonna go through everybody's account, and they just gonna start sporadically giving them back out. All the celebrities gonna get theirs free of charge. They're gonna give some to the legacies, or who gets a lot of engagement, and pages like that they gonna have to pay for it. And even if they do pay for it, they're gonna screw the algorithm up, and then nobody gonna see them. And then they're gonna complain, and then they're probably gonna sue because you know that's what white people do. They sue, and they're gonna lose. And then we ain't got to worry about it. It'll be like 2009 all over again.
I suppose.
Tori don't want that. But anyway, there's that. I gotta go get mentally ready to go listen to Vivek again. God, what am I doing to my life?
Why you gotta go listen to him?
Because he was at the he talked last night at the Libertarian Convention, and tonight Trump talks. So it's gonna be like a segue into that.
Okay. Wait, isn't that art? I think I saw you were gonna do a live on that, or you're not?
No, I am. I moved it down a little bit. I'm gonna do it at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I wanna well, like 7:30. I want to get through Vivek's quick and when Trump come up. That's gonna be a show because it's gonna be Thursday all over again. He ain't gonna say nothing.
Right.
But we just gonna laugh. I wonder what felon he gonna bring up this time to them libertarians.
I have to do a whole live on that one because
Bruh, the amount of tether jokes that are gonna be in that live, I'm staying out of there. I might catch some shrapnel.
You say you ain't trying to catch no strays.
I ain't trying to catch no strays.
Now you know you're gonna be good over here.
I might be at work when you do it, so I'm out of it anyway. But the fact that he brought up a felon that can't vote is just funny as hell. And he's up for 140 counts of gang conspiracy. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But they're worried about Mr. Legette's accent, but they had no smoke for that.
Right.
Just get you to think. The white vote will doom us all.
On both sides.
On both sides. The buzzard is going to crash land and then demand you help them get back in the air.
This is not an American bald eagle. This is an American bald buzzard.
Woo! Where are the crows? But let me go get mentally ready.
R.I.P. Brandon Lee.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to KG for coming up. Next up, we have Cosma Fury. What's going on?
Hey, what's good, man? And you know that bull buzzer is going to turn to a goonie bird, and you know goonie birds can't land. We're doomed. We're doomed. But you know, I have family from North Wilmington, North Carolina area where my late grandmother comes from. My grandfather comes from Charleston, South Carolina. I used to go down there like mad summers ago, and I tell you, just being around them and hearing the accent, you just come to understand it. It's easy to understand. The guy was excited, and his words were spaz. Combine that with that southern drawl, it sounds like it sounded a little bit. Some people might be on first glance like what, and then you just be like, oh, he said it again, like, oh, I got you. That simple. But of course, like you said, they were looking for something from nothing. We can't just exist in any way, shape, or form.
Like I
And
said,
look at
they have to find something. That's what I was saying earlier. It was nothing wrong in that video. It was nothing wrong, but they had to post it because they were fishing for something to be wrong. And that's why the response was not where they thought it was, because it was like, it's just the standard Southern accent. There's people all over who are of different backgrounds who have that same accent, and some of them are even thicker than that. So, but they tried to do the thing, and what this person was trying to convey is something all of us have all heard before. That's why they go with the thing of, oh, you sound ghetto when you talk, or you sound uneducated. That's why I say that's why I say people, to black people, if you ever hear them say you sound articulate, that is an insult. Do not take that as a compliment at any point.
Yeah, it used to be like, oh, he speaks so eloquently. I'm like, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, there's literally people, PC people that sound like Boom Howard from King of the Hill. I've met a few of them. And you literally cannot understand them. People thought the water boy was being comedic. There's people in Louisiana that sound like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Creole accent.
Oh no, you're not Boone Howard talk like that. No, no. Just like the words is drawn, and he talks in a certain type of draw, but he speaks quickly.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. But they don't make fun of that. None of that at all. It's me just being black in general. But we've beaten that horse a million times. But we gonna have to continue to beat them over there with it because they think it's funny. They have. I mean, this is why comedy. I can't sit there and watch a stand-up comedy from just any PC person because a lot of them don't have no ingenuity, not whatsoever. They like, man, like it's like Amy Schumer all over again.
Oh God, that has listen. Amy Shoehorn has to be one of the most unfunny people in stand up.
Who's funnier, her or Dan Cook?
Is that a trick question?
Be honest.
Well, I never. The best thing Dane Cook probably could have ever done was implement the word Karen in the way that it's used today.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all. Yo, you had to see Ike Barinholtz. Remember Mad TV? Ike Barinholtz did an impersonation of Dan Cook that's funnier than Dan Cook's stand-up comedy.
Sometimes some people's impersonation is always going to be funnier or better than the person that's being impersonated.
The woman, Nicole Parker, that used to be on Mad TV, does a Kathy Griffin impersonation that's funnier than Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin found it so funny that when they ran up to her on the red carpet at some event, she just gave the mic to Nicole Parker to do her impersonation.
Yeah, and also, shout out to Jay Farrell. Jay Farrell is one of the best impersonators.
Oh, his Denzel and Will Smith
are like spot on.
I know. And I mean, but basically, before I get back to work, I'm gonna just say it again. We can't do anything. We can't speak a certain way. We can't exist. It's like if we weren't around, they would turn on themselves quicker. Tell me they wouldn't turn on themselves quicker.
Oh, most definitely. If it was just them, they would probably be out of here like way faster than they're trying to get us up out of here. That's why I keep saying to myself, they keep saying things along the lines of saying, oh, they need to be gone, or we wish they weren't here, and all this and that. And I said, well, if we weren't here and we were gone, like who were you going to go after first? Because we know you got a savage nature. You can't go a day without talking about some type of conflict or being engaged in one. I don't know if people in the chat just saw so far, but or saw what just recently happened. But in Fort Wayne, Indiana, there was this white guy, this 20-year-old, who literally was inside of a grocery store and just started got on live and said he was going to shoot up the store. And he was right there, had the gun in his hand and everything in the store while going live, and just started firing shots. He shot 6 of those. He fired 6 of those shots at a black woman, and not one of them hit her.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. I read it yesterday. I was like,
that just happened. I think like a day or two ago. I think like 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. It just happened this week. I know that.
Wow. I can't, man. But anyway, I'm gonna just land my plane here, get back to work, man. Good speaking with you.
All right, appreciate you coming up. All right, Jonathan, I think that your thing froze, but I also think you was in a slightly noisy area. That's why I didn't bring you up. But it looks like your camera or thing froze, so I can't bring you up. But maybe the next time, have all of that situated. But I might. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do a video on that or maybe a live about it. I haven't decided yet. I need to look more into it because it's a breaking story, and I like to wait until more details come out, and that way we can really get into the groove of that particular story. But yeah, the video that I just mentioned is floating around social media right now. He literally went in a grocery store, went on live, and said he was going to shoot up the store after lighting up. And you can see him actually pointing the gun at this black woman, fired 6 shots and missed all 6 shots. She's very lucky. Yep, it happened in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So y'all can go, if y'all just type in Fort Wayne, Indiana into Google, it should pop right on up. But with that being said, y'all, we are going to bring this live to a close. You said it was a Kroger. I knew it was a grocery store. I just didn't know which one. So it was a Kroger. Yeah, I'm going to look more into that. But shout out to everybody that came through. We're going to bring this live to a close. We was able to get this done within an hour, which I'm glad. I like when we can get these done in a very short amount of time. But before we get out of here, shout out to Xavier, SD Johnson, King Kobe 313 for all contributing. And also shout out to 7 Sam Ham for being a member of the channel. And also shout out to 7 Sam Ham because they are also a subscriber over on Patreon as well. So shout out to her on that note. No live tomorrow. Like I told y'all, we do the True Crime Sundays every other Sunday. So the True Crime Sunday will be on, the next one will be on the 2nd. Wait, whatever that Sunday is, whatever that first Sunday is in June. That is when the next True Crime Sunday will be, which will be, yes, the 2nd, June 2nd. But there will be a premiere video coming tomorrow, though. So be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe and be one.